Okay, so today we are diving deep into witchcraft.
Specifically, the idea of casting a circle.
Right.
It's one of those things that's visually very striking.
Yeah, it is. Always see it in movies and stuff.
Right. You see witches gathering in a circle, candles, all of that.
Definitely.
Uh,
But I am really curious about, like, WHY. It's considered so fundamental.
that's a really good place to start because the why of it kind of unlocks the power of it.
Okay.
I think you can think of it as like
Okay.
you're consciously creating a space
Mm-hmm.
where you can connect with your inner power, focus your intentions,
Right.
and work with energy in a really safe and controlled way.
Like a spiritual gym.
Yeah, kind of like a spiritual gym.
I love that.
But instead of like weights and treadmills, you are working with unseen forces.
Right. So it's about setting up, like, the right environment
Yes,
for deeper work.
exactly.
So whether that's spell work or meditation or something else.
Mm-hmm.
And the circle itself represents that boundary.
Okay. That demarcation between the mundane world and the sacred space
Wow.
that you're creating.
I could see how that would be really powerful,
Yeah.
even if you don't believe in magic.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Just psychologically.
It's like drawing a line in the sand,
Right.
both physically and energetically.
Okay.
It's a signal to your subconscious. Okay, we're entering a different zone now.
Yeah.
Time to focus,
Totally.
tune in, and connect to something deeper.
Yeah. Our sources mentioned all sorts of tools that some witches use. Thames, wands, candles, herbs.
Yeah, it's like setting the stage for a performance.
It's very dramatic.
Yeah.
I've always been drawn to wands, personally.
Yeah.
But are they really necessary?
That's a really good question.
Or are they more symbolic?
I think that's a question a lot of people have.
Yeah.
And it really gets to the heart of what makes magic work.
Okay.
So while tools can definitely enhance the experience and help with visualization,
Right.
the most important thing is your intention and the energy you bring.
Okay, so it's more like the tools can amplify.
Yes.
But the power itself is coming from within.
Exact. Think of it like an artist with a paintbrush.
Okay.
The brush doesn't create the art.
Yeah.
It's simply a tool to channel the artist's creativity and vision.
Right.
In magic, your mind is the brush and your intention is the paint.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So someone could theoretically cast a circle just with their focus
Absolutely.
and visualization.
Totally.
No fancy tools required.
The energy is what matters most.
Oh?
Some people might feel more connected using tools.
Okay.
Some people find them distracting.
Yeah.
It's all about personal preference and what feels empowering to you.
So if someone wants to give this a try,
Yeah.
what are the actual steps involved in casting a circle?
So it starts with the foundation.
Right.
You have to cleanse the space.
You can't build a spiritual gym on top of a messy room.
You want to create a fresh, neutral starting point.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of ways to do this.
Okay.
Smoke cleansing is one, using herbs like sage. Right.
Or Palo Santo.
Mm-hmm.
Some people use sound bells or chimes,
Mm-hmm.
or even just visualizing sweeping the energy away.
How many options? Okay, so why is the cleansing step so important?
It's about removing any stagnant or negative energy that might interfere with your work.
Okay,
Think of it like wiping down your countertop before you start cooking.
I like that.
You want a clean slate to work with.
Makes sense. So once the space is cleansed, then what?
So then you mark the boundaries of your circle.
Okay.
That's where you define the physical and energetic limits of your sacred space.
Okay.
So some people use candles placed in a circle.
Right.
Others lay down a circle of salt or herbs or crystals.
Okay.
You could also just trace a circle on the air
Wow.
with your finger or a wand and visualize that line of energy being drawn.
So you are combining physical
Yeah.
with visualization.
Exactly.
That's cool.
The more senses you engage in the process, the stronger it becomes.
Yeah, and the more tangible the circle becomes.
Yeah. Okay, so we've cleansed, marked the boundaries. What comes next?
So this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
A lot of practitioners call upon the 4 elements:
Oh, wow.
earth, air, fire, and water.
Invoking the element?
In to empower and protect the circle.
Wow, so what's the reasoning behind that?
It's a way of acknowledging the forces of nature and inviting their energy into your circle.
So like calling in backup.
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay.
And each element is associated with specific qualities that can enhance your work.
Okay.
Like you might call upon the spirits of air for clarity and communication,
Interesting.
or earth for grounding and stability.
So aligning yourself with the energies that best support
Yeah,
your intention for this working.
exactly. You're
Yeah.
creating a harmonious blend of energy.
So if you were doing a spell for healing,
Mm-hmm.
you might call upon the element of water.
Exactly. You're creating a synergy with your goals.
I'm picturing myself in this circle surrounded by the elements. But how do you actually raise the energy?
There are a lot of techniques,
Yeah.
but one that's common is visualizing a glowing light,
Okay.
forming a sphere as you walk or spin clockwise
Wow.
within the boundaries you've set.
Gathering and compressing that energy.
Yeah, you got it.
That must be quite an experience.
It can be. You might feel a tingling sensation,
Wow.
a shift in temperature,
Okay.
or even just a sense of stillness and peace.
Okay, so we've cleansed the space,
Mm-hmm.
marked our boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
called upon the elements, raised the energy.
Yeah.
So the circle is officially cast.
Yeah.
What happens then?
Well, that's when you can perform your ritual or spell work,
Mhm.
meditation, whatever practice you're doing.
So it's not just about creating the space.
No, it's about utilizing it.
It's about using it for
Yeah.
a specific purpose.
Exactly.
Okay.
The circle itself doesn't do the magic.
Right.
It creates the optimal environment for magic to happen.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But you shouldn't just walk away and leave it open.
No, that's really important.
Yeah, our sources emphasize that.
Closing the circle properly is just as important
Okay.
as casting it.
Why is that?
So you can release the energy
Mm-hmm.
that you've raised in a controlled way
Okay.
and restore balance to the space. It's
Okay.
like turning off a light switch.
Yeah.
You don't want to leave the energy flowing indefinitely.
So what happens if you just bolt?
It's more about energetic hygiene than anything else.
Okay.
Leaving a circle open can disrupt the energy,
Gotcha.
and it can lead to feelings of unease,
Right.
imbalance.
So how do you close a circle correctly?
So essentially, you reverse the steps.
Okay.
You might walk counterclockwise around the circle,
Okay.
thanking the elements for their presence,
Okay.
and visualize the energy dissolving,
Okay.
merging back into the universe.
Yeah?
And a lot of practitioners will use a closing statement
Like what?
to formally declare the circle open,
Oh,
but never broken.
I like that. Open but never broken.
Yeah,
It suggests that the energy remains even after you've closed it.
that's a beautiful way to think about it.
Okay, so we've covered the basics of casting a circle,
Uh-huh.
cleansing, marking the boundaries, calling upon the elements,
Mhm.
raising energy, and closing the circle.
Yeah,
It seems pretty straightforward.
yeah.
But our sources also mention variations,
Oh, yeah.
ways to personalize the practice.
Right.
I'm curious to explore that more in part 2.
Yeah.
But before we move on,
Uh-huh.
anything else our listeners should keep in mind?
I think the most important thing is to approach it with an open mind
Okay.
and a sense of curiosity.
Yeah.
There's no one right way to cast a circle.
Mm-hmm.
Trust your intuition, experiment,
Okay.
find what feels most empowering and authentic for you.
So making it your own rather than sticking to the rules.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
And don't be afraid to get creative and have fun with it.
Right.
Magic is a form of self-expression.
Well said. All right, folks, that wraps up part 1 of our deep dive into casting a circle. We've laid the groundwork, explored the steps, and hopefully sparked your curiosity
Hopefully.
to delve even deeper into this practice.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for part 2,
Uh-huh.
where we'll be exploring the symbolism of the circle, the historical roots, and how to apply these principles to other areas of our lives.
That's going to be good.
Even if we're not casting spells or invoking spirits.
Right, exactly.
So stay tuned. Welcome back to the deep dive. So in part 1, we walk through...
Follow practical steps of casting a circle,
Right.
which is cool, but now I'm kind of interested in
Yeah.
digging into the symbolism.
Yeah, like WHY, a circle. Why is this shape
Right.
so central to magic and spirituality?
It's a really good question.
Yeah, across so many cultures.
Yeah.
It can't be a coincidence.
It's a question that anthropologists and scholars have been thinking about for centuries.
Right.
You know, the circle is one of the oldest and most universal symbols,
Yeah.
dating back to prehistoric times.
Wow.
I mean, you find it in art, architecture.
Yeah. Spiritual practices all over the world.
So there's got to be something inherently powerful about this shape.
There is, absolutely.
Right.
I mean, the circle represents wholeness, unity, eternity, the cyclical nature of life, death, and rebirth.
Oh, wow.
It's a symbol of completion, of things coming full circle, of interconnectedness of all things.
I'm thinking about like cycles of nature.
Yeah.
The seasons, the moon phases, the way life ebbs and flows.
Yeah, it's a visual representation of those natural rhythms.
Exactly.
And in many cultures, the circle is associated with the divine or the cosmos.
Right.
So think of the sun,
Yeah.
the moon, halos around religious figures in art.
Right.
They all evoke that
They do?
sense of completeness.
Yeah, and sacredness. It's like a microcosm of the macrocosm.
Totally.
Like a reflection of the universal order, but within our own personal space.
Yeah.
Are there other examples of circles being used?
For spiritual purposes throughout history.
Tons.
Okay.
So ancient Celtic cultures,
Okay.
they used stone circles, like Stonehenge,
Oh,
for rituals and observations.
connecting people to the cycles of nature.
Yeah.
I've always been fascinated by Stonehenge.
Yeah. There's something so mysterious
It really is.
and powerful
Yeah.
about those ancient stone circles.
It's like they're still resonating
Totally.
with the intentions of the people who built them.
A palpable energy, yeah.
Yeah.
And Native American traditions.
Okay.
The medicine wheel
Right.
is another powerful symbol of the circle, representing the four directions, the elements,
Okay.
and the interconnectedness of all beings.
So it seems like the circle isn't just like
It's a universal archetype.
a Western concept.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That speaks to something
Right.
deep within the human psyche.
Transcends cultural boundaries.
Exactly.
I'm curious about the role of the circle in witchcraft. Like, how did it become such a central practice?
Well, so witchcraft has its roots in ancient pagan traditions
Okay.
that revered nature and the cyclical flow of energy.
Okay.
So the circle was a way to create a sacred space,
Okay.
to connect with the spirits of nature,
Mm-hmm.
perform rituals, and harness the power of the elements.
Right. So a space that's protected
Yes,
and empowered by the forces of nature.
you got it.
I see.
Makes sense when you think about it because you're working with these unseen energies.
Right. It could be kind of scary.
Yeah, you need that sense of safety
Yeah.
and security.
Our sources mention that some witches see the circle as a three-dimensional sphere,
Yeah.
while others see it as a flat boundary on the ground.
It really just depends.
Is one more correct than the other?
It's more about personal preference
Right.
and how you connect with the energy.
Okay.
So some practitioners feel a stronger connection when they envision a sphere encompassing the entire space.
Like a bubble of magical energy
Totally.
completely surrounding you.
Yeah.
But some people prefer to focus on a two-dimensional boundary
Yeah.
marked by, stones, candles, salt, herbs.
It can feel more grounded
Yeah.
and connected.
I can see how both could be effective.
Yeah.
So ultimately, it's about
Personal empowerment.
intention and personal empowerment.
Choosing what resonates with you.
Exactly. And what feels empowering.
Yeah.
We've explored the symbolism, the historical roots, different ways to visualize a circle.
Right.
It's clear that this has deep meaning
Yeah.
in magical traditions.
Yeah.
But I'm also thinking about how this concept can be applied to non-magical practices.
Right.
Like, can we create circles
Yeah, that's where things get really exciting.
in our daily lives?
Yeah.
Even if we're not,
Yeah.
casting spells or invoking spirits.
The principles of creating sacred space,
Okay.
setting boundaries, focusing intention,
Yeah.
those are valuable in any area of life.
Okay, so give me some examples.
Sure. So let's say
How do we create those circles?
you're starting a creative project,
Okay.
writing a novel, composing a song,
Mm.
even planning a presentation.
Okay.
You can create a circle of focused energy by designating a space for your work,
Okay.
clearing away distractions, setting intentions,
Right.
maybe lighting a candle or playing music.
It's like creating a container
Yeah,
for your creative energy.
exactly.
Okay.
Just like a witch would
Right.
create a container.
For magical energy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be limited to creative pursuits.
No, not at all.
You could create a circle of protection
Yes.
before entering a challenging situation,
Exactly.
like a difficult conversation
Yeah,
or a
yeah.
stressful meeting.
So before you walk into the room,
Okay.
take a moment to create that energetic circle.
How do I do that?
Visualize a bubble of protective light surrounding you.
Okay.
Take some deep breaths and set the intention to stay calm and centered.
It's like an energetic shield
Yeah, like a buffer zone.
against negativity.
Totally.
That's really cool.
Helps you stay grounded
And it's not just protection.
No.
You could also use this to amplify positive energy.
Absolutely.
Where you need like a boost of confidence.
Right. So let's say you're giving a presentation.
Yeah, or a job interview.
Or going on a job interview.
Stage fright is real.
So visualize a circle of golden light surrounding you, amplifying your strengths, attracting positive energy.
Like giving yourself an aura.
Totally.
That's cool.
Subtle but powerful.
This is making me realize how much power we have to shape the energy around us.
We do.
Just with our thoughts and intentions.
Exactly. And casting a circle is a way of taking control of that energy and directing it towards a purpose.
You mentioned using the concept of a circle for meditation.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that a bit more?
Sure.
What does that look like in practice?
So even if you don't have a dedicated space, you can just find a quiet corner, close your eyes, and visualize a circle of soft blue light around you.
Like creating a sanctuary.
Exactly.
Peace.
Yeah.
I love that.
It can really shift your mindset.
I bet.
Create a sense of calm.
Earlier, we talked about casting a circle around our homes.
Yeah.
What are some practical ways?
So it's all about creating a sense of sanctuary, positive energy flow. So declutter and cleanse your space.
Right.
Open the windows, let the light in.
I can feel my stress levels going down already.
Bring in natural elements like plants, crystals, or essential oils.
I love all that.
It's about creating an environment that really supports you.
Right. So our homes are more than...
They're energetic spaces.
Yeah. Physical structure.
They can nourish or deplete us.
This deep dive has been transformative.
It has been.
We've gone from casting a circle for witchcraft
to casting a circle for everything.
To casting circles for everything.
Yeah.
It's amazing how one concept can apply to so many different areas.
It goes to show that magic is really about intention
and
energy to create positive change.
We can all tap into that.
And can.
So listener, as we close this circle of knowledge, we leave you with this. How will you use the power of the circle?
To create positive shifts in your life.
Whether it's protection, focus, creativity.
Fulfillment of peace.
The power is within you.
It is.
Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
Until next time.
Until next time. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. I am like, my mind is just swirling with all these ideas about circles.
Right.
From like magical rituals to everyday life.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
It is. We've gone from the nitty-gritty of like how to actually cast a circle to like the deeper meaning and the history.
And in part 2, we were like, okay, so how can we apply this stuff to our everyday lives?
Yeah.
So let's get into some more concrete examples.
All right, let's imagine a scenario that we can all relate to. You're about to have like a really tough conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Could be with a loved one.
Yeah.
Coworker. Your boss.
Yeah, been there.
About setting boundaries, resolving a conflict.
Those conversations can be so nerve-wracking.
They can be.
So how can we use this idea of a circle to kind of...
So even before you walk into the room, take a moment to create an energetic circle around yourself.
Okay. I'm intrigued. How do we actually do that?
Visualize a bubble of protective light surrounding you.
Okay.
And take a few deep breaths.
Okay.
Set the intention to remain calm, centered, open-hearted.
Okay, so it's like a
buffer zone.
Yeah, an energetic shield.
To deflect negativity.
Yeah.
Emotional turbulence.
That might come up.
Helps you stay grounded.
Right. And it's not just about protection.
No, you can use it.
You could use this to amplify positive energy too.
Absolutely.
Where you need like an extra boost.
Yeah. Like let's say you're giving a presentation or you're performing on stage, going on a job interview.
Stage fright is so real.
It is.
So any tips for combating that?
Before you step into that spotlight, visualize a circle of golden light surrounding you, amplifying your strengths, attracting positive energy.
I like that.
Yeah, it's like giving yourself a radiant aura.
Right.
Subtle but powerful.
I'm realizing we have so much power.
We do.
To shape our energy.
It's all about conscious energy manipulation.
Yeah.
And casting a circle, whether literally or metaphorically, is a way of taking control of that energy.
You mentioned using the circle to enhance meditation.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
So even if you don't have a dedicated meditation room, you can create a circle of tranquility wherever you are.
Okay.
Find a quiet corner.
Okay.
Close your eyes. Visualize a circle of soft blue light surrounding you.
Creating a sanctuary of peace.
In your own energy field.
It's like you have a portable meditation sanctuary.
You do.
You can take anywhere with you.
It's amazing how effective just that simple visualization can be.
Earlier, we talked about casting a circle around our homes and workspaces.
Yeah.
So how do we do that practically?
It's about creating that sense of sanctuary.
Okay.
Positive energy flow.
Right.
Start by decluttering, cleansing your space.
Okay.
Open the windows, let in the fresh air and sunlight.
Yeah.
Bring in natural elements, plants, crystals, essential oils.
I love all that stuff.
Evoking peace and well-being.
It makes you realize our homes are...
They're more than physical structures.
Yeah.
They're energetic spaces that can affect us.
This has been an amazing deep dive.
It has been.
We went from witchcraft to casting circles for life.
We did.
It's incredible how one concept...
It's all about intention and energy.
...can be applied in so many ways.
To create positive change.
So listener, as we close this circle of knowledge, how will you use the power of the circle?
To create positive shifts in your life.
Whether it's for protection, focus, creativity.
Or just finding a moment of peace.
The power is within you.
It is.
Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
Until next time.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning.
Keep expanding your circle.
And keep expanding your circle of awareness.